Happy Friday, YouTube friends. Crazy Hungarian Joe here. Feeling a lot better after about a month of just feeling like crap and tired and everything, and dropped about 15 pounds. It's been interesting month. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope the beginning of the weekend. Of course, we have comic book memories tomorrow. We have Cheap Comic Collectors $2 claim sale. Always a great way to spend Saturday morning. Kind of relax, chill, have a nice time, especially with the Christmas coming up. A lot of cool stuff coming up. Of course, I was involved with the radio drama. Me and some friends did a rendition of Christmas Carol, Charles Dickens, and I am Scroogey. Bah, humbug. So yeah, it should be interesting. I always thought Scrooge has always been such a great story for me. You don't really appreciate it until you get older. Very important couple of words. There's humility and empathy. Empathy. Is Scrooge an anti-hero? No. Is he an old miser? Yeah. Did he have tough breaks? Yeah. Either way he is because of his past? Yeah. But it's a really interesting, our take was really interesting. We based it off of our old theater instructor at Minot State University. He had his adaptation of it, and we just kind of copied it. We didn't. I didn't. The director of this radio drama, Jay Jenkins, did. And he did a great job. And we had quite a few people involved in it. It's going to be this week sometime. I believe Christmas Eve. It will be on a podcast. I will be posting it live on my channel. So if you guys are interested, and I hope, it's really good, and I would really appreciate if you guys could watch it. We're trying to start he's trying to start a radio group and do some readings, which is always fun. It's a lot easier than, auditioning and getting a play ready for a bunch of people. But yeah, it's going to be in rehearsal schedules and stuff like that. So I'll keep you posted. Enough of the talk. Got some stuff Friday nights. It's all right for fighting. Or is that Saturday? Saturday. Okay. Growing up kid of the 80s. A few books I'll always jump back to. And I was very lucky, as we all are in each generation. We're lucky to have certain things that do not define, I guess we could say it defined, encouraged us. How's that? And of course I'm talking about with the comics, Superman was always older. Batman, always older. I really associated with, I never associated with the mutants, X-Men, New Mutants, Alpha Flight, Alpha Pack, whatever. I never associated with the Marvel stuff growing up. It was always things that I had remembered as a young child in the late 70s when we would watch a Batman, old 66 Batman and stuff like that, shows. But I always associated with the Teen Titans because I was that age group. I was a teen in the 80s, and, well, not so much the later 80s. But when New Teen Titans came out, the Wolfman Perez, it blew my mind when I was a kid. And it was my favorite comic besides Batman. I loved Spider-Man and Hulk, with the TV shows and stuff. But I was always into the Teen Titans, and especially DC. There was just more. I wasn't old, and I didn't feel I was old enough to appreciate Um, the stories with that came with the Marvel. As I get older now, I collect a lot of the Daredevil and the older Hulk, Silver Age, and the stories are amazing. They're so amazing. They're great. You know, you can. There's stories. It's literature. It's actual literature. A lot of people. I'm going to dare to say that Stan Lee, 500 years from now, he is the modern day William Shakespeare. That's a bold statement, but it's true. He created all these characters with help, of course. Shakespeare now, he gave the guidelines to his plays. Richard Burbage, all the actors at the time, they threw their input in. They threw what, they did the monologues, and they threw that in, and Shakespeare's like, hey, that's a great idea, dude. Keep that in there. To be or not to be, I don't get it, but I like it. Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, all those guys back then, and then the 70s, Neil Adams, Wolfman, Perez, they threw that in there like the old actors did with Shakespeare. And now that you got the movies, so you're presenting them. They were presented in the books first, literature. And that's how all great things start. Hollywood doesn't get that anymore. Back in the days, Frankenstein, Dracula, they were all based on stories. Bram Stoker, Mary Shelley. A lot of the movies back then were based on books. And, of course, you had your original screenplays, but that's gone now. They don't do that anymore. There's always that you started with the literature, then it moved in. And Marvel's doing that now with their movies. I hope DC with James Gunn, I hope they can figure out what Kevin Feige and the boys at Disney thought, and gals, what they did. Because this new Superman trailer blew my mind. You saw Metamorpho. You had Guy Gardner, Superman, Lois, all these, excuse me. It was really cool. I'm really excited to see this movie. But yet you keep of it, he's doing it right because of the one thing in this trailer that a lot of people have been bitching about. But crypto. That is an emotion. That is a scene. That is something it was cool, man. It was cool. I liked it. I dug it. I thought the trailer was really good. I think the movie's going to be fantastic. I love James Gunn. He hasn't really done anything that I can say sucked. Even with Slither, the old his first movie that he did there. Well, there's one before that. What else did he do? I think he did the remake of Dawn of the Dead. He had something to do with that. I think he wrote it, maybe? Don't know. Directed it? I can't remember. Not enough research. Anyway, long story. Teen Titans. Look at that. And when I see this cover, and I see Robin with the Robin, Dick Grayson, I see Kid Flash, I see Wonder Girl, Cyborg, Beast Boy, Raven. That's what I remember about childhood. That's right there. Look at that. And it was so lucky for me too, because not only am I loving the artwork and the stories in this, when Crisis on Infinite Earths came out, it was a no-brainer. I don't know who the heck Marv Wolfman is. I know George Perez is awesome. But the stories, to me, this time of comics, that early 80s, 80 to 81 to 86, the end of the Bronze, is one of the greatest literary. You had the Watchmen, you had the Swamp Thing coming out, Alan Moore. It was beautiful. there was so much. It brought comics truly, truly into pop culture. It was always pop culture, but it brought it into my generation, the Generation X. And Wolfman, Perez did that, like a lot of you guys, is what Neil Adams did, and those guys, Jack Kirby, Stan Lee. These are my Silver Age stories. If I was in that age group, these are my Silver Age stories that I love as an adult now, as a grandpa. But no, I bought these. These were bought these years ago. But the art, God, it's all blurry. Thanks. But it's just, give me a second, folks. Oh, getting old. We'll amp it up a bit, shall we? That is so unprofessional. He got up and... Shut up. There we go. Dr. Light. Always a favorite of the villains of the Teen Titans. The new Teen Titans. Of course, you have Terminator, a.k.a. Deathstroke. Brother Blood. And, of course, you have the... few other the storylines in this, but the Terminator, Starfire, Cyborg, and I like these because they have the covers on there too. So anyway, here's a compilation of the first few issues, and of course we have volume 2. I do have a lot of these. My son and I collect quite a bit of them. Do have the comics, regular comic books, newsstand one. Just screams. George Perez is just, come on. You know, when people see the Jack Kirby Fantastic Four, perfect example. You're in your 60s and 70s, whatever. You grew up with Fantastic Four, Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, and you can look at that and you can appreciate it, you can associate with it. This is my Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, Fantastic Four, right here. And it's very important that we talk about that kind of stuff. It's very important that you can associate. When you first started reading comics, you associate. You need to associate. I associate with this. The 80s, Bronze Age. So endeth the lesson. So endeth the lesson. Go home and sleep well tonight. We have volume 3 here. I've read through these so many times. Then of course you have the little mini-series, Tales of the New Teen Titans. This was issue 1. They're all in the books here. If any few of you have these, then of course you have the Brother Blood, Beware the Wrath, Ashes to Ashes, Kidnap. Some annuals. I got an annual coming, I believe, a couple annuals from Rob, Cheap Comic Collector, Teen Titan annuals. Yeah, just he knew how to draw action so well. I really want to get into the George Perez's Wonder Woman that he did in the 80s. Brought Wonder Woman back. Almost brought her back from almost being buried, actually. Excuse me. Gatorade. Okay. Enough of the comics. Enough of the preaching. It's not really preaching, it's just how I feel. I have had this book, and I've read it a few times, by Henry Sharp. The Transformation of Bigfoot. Maleness, Power, and Belief Among the Chippewan, which is, of course, the Indian tribe, native tribe up in Canada, up in the Northwest Territories. The book is about a hunting trip that they took, and they were out hunting for Bigfoot, or what they believed to be Bigfoot. And during the time when they was up there with them, doing this hunting party, and this is the Smithsonian series, Ethnographic Inquiry. Smithsonian paid the guy to go up there and to study it, looking at all this stuff. But there's all these legends with the tribe and Sasquatch up in Canada. And they decided they were going to take him on a hunting trip. And, he talks a little bit about the land, of what it was like up there in the mountains. But he was out there, they were out there for about 3.5 months. And this book just kind of tells what they found. What they discovered. And it wasn't just about Bigfoot. It was, at the time, the death of what they thought the male persona is or was. To look into the eye of a creature that they believed was real, and it looked human, but it didn't do anything to you. It didn't do anything to them. So why would they want to kill it? Why would you want to bother it? Do you want to be bothered? Henry Sharp realized that by him going up there, hanging out with these folks, he was bothering them. I'm in a real deep mood tonight. Anyway, this is a really interesting book, and since I have to be squatchy sometimes, here's my squatchiness. Transformation of Bigfoot, Henry S. Sharp. It's really interesting. It's an interesting tale. It's an interesting book. And I liked it. Yes, I did. Anyway, there's that story. Then, speaking of Star Wars, and I found this, just kind of hanging out. Back in the 80s, they had all these books, just newsstand magazines. This one was Stars at War, How to Kill a Robot. And, of course, you have a Superman 2. Spooky Sci-Fi Children. The Reality Behind the Fantasy of Dazzling Special Effects. These older magazines are just a blast for me to read. And this specific one had some comics in it. Kind of Gauntlet. Kind of did a couple of little black and white stories there. Colossus of New York. A lot of pop culture kind of stuff. Of course, you got to have GOG. Have you ever seen the movie GOG? G-O-G? Right there. GOG. Of course, you got to have some Star Wars. How to Kill a Robot. My Son the Vampire. Captain Scarlet and the Mysterions. Thunderbirds. Ugh, those puppets always freaked me out when I was a kid. Oh, look at that guy right there. Dun, 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 dun. And how about that new Superman trailer, the John Williams theme? Kind of put some stank on it. I don't know if you're Superman 2. I don't know if you guys have seen the director's cut, the Richard Donner cut of that. And it had Brando in it, but then they changed. After Brando tried to screw everybody over with more money, they dumped him out of the movie, and his mother, Kal-El's mother, instead was the one that took his powers away and all this stuff. Candid Talk with special effects artist Dave Allen. Dave Allen did one of my favorite 70s horror flicks, The Crater Lake Monster. You need to watch it. Very good book. Future World, Westworld, or movie. Sorry. The Clone Wars were mentioned in Star Wars by Hero. See, you read all this stuff, like, see that Clone Wars right here? You know how he mentioned that in the movie, and there was so much. I don't know. I think Lucas had no idea what the hell he was doing. He just wrote that shit, and then he made it up like, "Hey, I had this planned all the time." Guess who didn't? Guess who actually did have everything planned? Gene Roddenberry. Okay, enough. Got some LPs. I got some vinyl. I'm 18. Is It My Body? No More Mr. Nice Guy. Alice Cooper's Greatest Hits. There was a bar when I was frequent. Whenever I went out to, when I was first out in LA, up in the North Hollywood area. There's a bar there, and there was a picture, and you had Alice Cooper, you had John McEnroe, you had Tillis, Mel Tillis, a couple country singers, Roy Clark. You had a couple of actors. You had John Lennon. You had a group of these 8 guys. In 1 month, they decided they were going to drink themselves to death. See how far they could go. So they would be there from open. Jerry Garcia was involved. From open to close. They sat in this bar. Alice Cooper was there. And they would just get drunk. And they would jam and have fun and tell stories and stuff like that. But I cannot for the life of me remember the name of the damn bar. He's right there down on Lancashire Boulevard. I can't remember now. You know who should have been there? Who actually know it's a good thing he wasn't there? And this is one of my favorite albums of all time. Don't care. This guy was funny. I saw him live in Bismarck, North Dakota, years ago. The Toothache, Personal Hygiene, Hofstra. He was funny. Comedy legend. One of the greatest of all times. And then you find out, whatever. I don't care. I'll listen to that stuff. Classic, once again, something that defined my generation. Every song on this damn album is perfect. Breakfast Club. Don't you forget about me. Love this movie. Love it. John Hughes. Gone, but not forgotten. And of course, we've got some songs of Ireland. These are just a bunch of LPs I found hanging around. Country singers, county singers. It's kind of a fun one. Like to listen to this on St. Patrick's Day. Eating me bangers and mash with some peas. Peas. I'll stop with the accents. Go back over there. Ben. Oh my goodness. I found some interesting stuff here. Building the Perfect Beast. You know what, you guys? The Boys of Summer on this album. What else? Man with a Mission. Not Enough Love in the World. Building the Perfect Beast. Sunset Grill. Classic Don Henley right here. I saw a dead sticker on a Cadillac. Don Henley. And I should have did this original soundtrack for Superman 2. Kind of goofy there. And I found this, another director's cut of Blade Runner. Another movie. It was just amazing. I love how when this movie came out, and I love this movie. It was so good. I like the voiceover, though, the film noir version of it, the original theatrical cut. But then, what, in 98, 99, AFI on, I believe it was on CBS, did the 100 greatest movies of all time. This movie shocked everybody because it was number 98. Something I knew. I'm like, no, that's the greatest movie of all time. One of them. It's probably higher up there now. And of course, if you're looking at right there, Star Wars, John Williams, London Philharmonic Orchestra. You also got a little Space Odyssey 2001. Yes, yes, yes. Original. These are all original. Original. The original Star Wars LP right here, folks. He did what he had to do. Darth Vader. Original Empire Strikes Back. Once there he is once again. Lord Vader. I love that poster. Oh, who did all these posters? Who was the poster man back in the day? He's done a couple more. He's kind of retired. Look at that. That's, oh. This is no cave. My second favorite movie of all time is Empire Strikes Back. Behind Raiders of the Lost Ark. Ah, God, the escape from Hoth scene. Never tell me the odds. Harry Ford. Harry Ford. Then I picked these up too. Why? It's John Williams. Got The Rise of Skywalker. Ooh. Freaking knocked myself out here. Kind of cool. And the movie that it is what it is, folks. It is what it is. The Last Jedi. It's like Mark Hamill said. So, let me get this straight. Luke Skywalker died from an overdose of the Force. Well, that's what I heard. So that's my little spiel for tonight, my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, please. That'd be cool. I still need to, now that I feel better, kind of get amping up for some stuff. I want to get more involved with YouTube again. I want to go live. See if any of my YouTube buddies want to jump on with me. Trying to jump onto some other people's channels. they're not too busy, you know. And remember, tomorrow is Saturday, so we have the comic book memories with Dr. Silver Age, Rod and Shannon. And then we also have Rob, Cheap Comic Collector. Also, Rob has a show coming out, Cheap Comic Collector, on, I believe, Sunday. It's kind of a pop culture hour, a Christmas version. It sounds interesting, sounds kind of fun. So you might want to watch it. It should be, if you do the claim sale, or I'm sure if you're subscribed to him, you'll be able to see when all that will be up and about on Sunday. Hopefully it's on Sunday. Maybe I'm overthinking. But also, I'll make another video tomorrow night. But I also believe that I'll let you guys know about that Christmas Carol. That I really appreciate if you guys listen to that. It's so good. It's such a wonderful tale to tell. So, but you guys have yourself a great evening. Have yourself a wonderful Saturday and rest of the weekend. And take care. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. Take care of each other. And take care of yourself. Thank you. Have a great night.